What's good? This is the ChoppedByT podcast. I'm your host, T. And to the far right of me, we got my brother, Skull.
What up?
And in the middle, man, we got a special guest, a special guest. Officer Chris.
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Nothing much.
I probably didn't have to say officer, huh? I'm just jumping in, putting your business out there.
God damn.
Yeah, we already done started.
Man, let me tell damn language. They should have damn bleeped my damn face out.
But no, man. I've been knowing Chris now probably for about I'm gonna say probably about 5 years. Yeah, about 5 years now. I've been knowing you, and you are a police officer. You weren't a police officer the whole time I knew you, but before we go in, I just want to do something that I don't see a lot of black people doing to our officers, bro, which is giving y'all flowers.
Yeah.
You know, we got this whole stigma about fuck the police. I don't fuck with them. I don't fuck with all this other shit you hear in rap music and shit like that. But what you do is it's an honorable thing.
Yeah.
You know, you
noble.
a noble thing. You make this vow to protect and serve people when you don't have to. You know, I know you probably more personally than the average person do. So I've seen situations where you've had to deal with difficult people, you know, disrespecting you and challenging your manhood strictly because you're an officer. And I just want to give you your flowers right now and say I'm proud of you, man. Let's give him a hand clap, bro. Real talk. I want to give you that. I want to give you that.
Appreciate
I know
it,
you
bro.
thought I was going to attack you, bro.
Nah.
I feel it's coming, though.
Oh, we got Demo in the back, too. I forgot to mention Demo. Come on in here, Demo.
What it do? I was going to say the caveat. You know how you always set somebody up. You give them the good first, and you be like, but.
But with all that being said, the smooth voices of Demo. We got to go and get it out there. Get them in here. But, man, I want to jump straight into it, man. Why a police officer? Why would you be a police officer? Come on, let me hear it.
Well, why I became a police officer is because of the Ferguson situation. I seen that, you know, that pretty much was a landmark case for a lot of black minorities, and I wanted to be a part of the change. You know, I kind of wanted to get my hand in there to be a part of something change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So from the sound of that, it sounded like you one of them that's like, in order to change the system, we have to be a part of it.
Right, yeah.
Okay. What you think about that, Skull?
I think that's awesome. You know, like I said earlier, it's very noble. Cause I'm gonna be real with you. I got a whole criminal justice degree, and I changed my mind about it because it wasn't something that I think I could handle.
Right.
Emotionally, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I big you up about it, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it can be tough at times, but I mean, the real thing you got to look at is, you know, we're people behind the uniform and the badge. The people we deal with are people, so you just got to humanize it.
Yeah. You know something that I really thought about, or something that really I mentioned last episode actually, and you may not know Lala. He a Sigma, but he's also a police officer. And I made a comment on the last podcast about the brainwashing thing, like the aspect of like brainwashing, being brainwashed and everything like that when it come to police officers. And because I had a situation with a black female officer that pulled me over, and essentially, I mean, she harassed me. You know, that's what it was. It wasn't the thing you see where somebody was not complying and all of that. You know me, I'm a military guy, so I'm gonna comply. I understand what it means to comply. I'm not, talking back and all that. She essentially was harassing me and told me I look suspicious with the climate that's going on today. And I mentioned it at the end of one of our podcasts, and Lala, he took offense to it. He was like, I guess he took offense to it. I don't know. He was texting me, but he was like, I wouldn't have done that. Everybody is not like that. And my thing that I told him is, I said, you're right. Everybody's not like that. Just like all black people don't like chicken.
Right.
All police officers aren't the same. But in that specific situation, that's what happened to me, that I felt where I was in a position where I was being, I guess harassed or just mistreated. And it would have been a different way if that was the case.
Let me ask you this. Was it a traffic stop or you was just walking and she just came up to you?
It was a traffic stop. And I will say this. I want to say this, too, because that thing I was talking about, the brainwashing thing, I want to get to that. what I meant, like what I was trying to say. But it was a traffic stop, and I think that she was training actually. She was training, but it was a traffic stop.
So, like, what put into your mind that it was harassment? Because a traffic stop, all we have to have is reasonable suspicion. So you don't have to really commit a crime. You can just, you know what I'm saying, be driving extremely slow down the neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know.
Well, her thing was that my tags was out, right?
Were your tags out?
I mean, not my tags, my tail lights was out.
Okay.
No, they wasn't out.
Okay.
They wasn't out. But where the harassment part came in, not the fact that she stopped me, because I understand, and it was a training exercise. I'm a 13 Fox. I train closer with MPs anyway, but it wasn't the fact that she stopped me. That wasn't the problem. It was the things that occurred after the stop. I've explained to you what I do. I'm what they call a independent contractor. I go around picking up specimen samples out of lock boxes at clinics. And I was explaining that that's why I'm here. That's why I have Hardeman County tags, but I'm in Tullahoma. That's where the place was. Explain all of that to her. Even showed her the specimen samples and everything like that. And ran my ID. Everything was everything. And she came back to the car. She said, "I'm not going to lie, you look suspicious." And that's where the harassment started. Mm-hmm. And it just went from there because, of course, if you tell me I look suspicious, I know what other reason could I look suspicious? I mean, I guess I kind of do look suspicious, huh?
No, I mean, like...
Is it the smile?
No, I understand where she's getting. It's probably, you know, how she said it. Like you said, she was in training. She's probably still trying to, you know, get that wording down. You know, I wouldn't say that you look suspicious. I would just say, hey, man, this, you know, clinic is closed. You pulled up right here, so I'm just checking out on you. You know what I mean? Right. That's different than saying, hey, man, you look suspicious. Let me get your ID.
Right.
Yeah, you feel me?
No, I get it. And the thing, where my gripes came in at is when it started to become a situation where it was just continuous. Hey, well, can you get out of the car? Well, all right, okay. Why are you here again? Well, I'm here because I'm X, Y, and Z. I'm not gonna lie, you look suspicious. I thought this was about a tail light. That's what it started. It's just about a tail light.
Hold on, were you in a parking lot?
No, I was on the road. She just pulled me over.
Okay. Because I was about to say, if you was in a parking lot, tail light doesn't even matter. But
yeah, but that story has nothing to do with you, right? Let's not get too far in that story. The thing I'm trying to talk about is the brainwashing aspect of it. I talked about brainwashing, and Lala took offense to that. And I'm guessing probably because his people been harassing. Like, it's probably been a lot of black people. You know how we be. Yeah. Oh, you police ass nigga when somebody pull you over and all that.
Yeah.
He probably been getting a lot of that, and he was feeling the way or whatever. And I expect him to feel away. But the thing where I talked about the brainwashing with her is, I never said that she was being brainwashed, but I get it. I can understand the brainwashing aspect of it because I've experienced that myself in the military.
Right.
And what I mean is, y'all been the basic, you and Demo both. Yeah. You go in there and they'll trick you into thinking like, I'm ready to die for my country. And you know what I'm saying? Right? Am I right or am I wrong?
No, that's true. That's true. They want you to be gung ho.
Like they'll trick you like, oh, I'm ready to die today for my country. You know,
give him my 20,000.
Listen, and that's what I meant. That's what I meant when I said that. Like, and I guess the same thing applies because she was new. She was in training. She fresh off her training and everything. She hadn't really adapted or acclimated back to the real world just yet. And you know, the brainwashing thing was still there. Of course, they don't mean that, but they got to boost morale. They got to give you that when you in the training, you in that, to give that to you like, hey, you here to protect and serve, or in a military case, you got to die for your country. That's what you're here for. I get why they placed that on you in the beginning. Like, I completely understand that, but she had to get the fuck over that. It's done now. That was my thing.
In the police academy, we don't really, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a brainwashing like basic training. It's more so of, okay, I'm in a new career. You know, everybody, you know, is looking at me, expecting me to be out there and be that strong and, you know, will mind and be able to protect others and stuff. So you got to live up to that demeanor. I'm not saying what she did was right, but what I'm saying is, like, at the academy, it's not like a brainwash thing, theory like the military. Like, you know, it's more so of, like, you got to find your own self within the career.
Yeah. I get it. I will say this, though. I never took offense to her. It wasn't like I was like, well, I need a little time to think about it, first.
We'll get back to
and weigh
it.
out the situation. Yeah, I need a little time to think about it, and thinking about it, it was like, it was what it was. It's just another situation. It made me know mine anyway.
When I think about this situation, I wonder what would happen if you would act out of fear like most people do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
If I wasn't as composed, and that's the thing that I want to get to you too, brother. Like, I get it. It was a training thing and all that, and that's where the disconnect comes in at right there, because I think that sometimes or even in her situation, she should have understood. What if I wasn't this military person who was used to that and who had, X, Y, and Z, and I had have acted out of emotion or fear, and I had, been fidgety and all of this and wasn't as calm and composed as I was. That's when you have those incidents like, the Ferguson, I think you said earlier, and all of that. That's where you have those types of incidents at like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to
tough job, bro.
Yeah, it is. I'm not trying to go, back and forth as far as like trying to rebut everything you're saying. But I mean, it's a rough job. It's a tough job. But a lot of people don't even understand. Like, okay, if you feel like that you've been treated wrong, then there's a complaint system built into place. A lot of citizens don't even know about that. Like, you feel like you was done wrong, I'm pretty sure in this day and age, there's some type of recording being done, a video. You go and write a formal complaint, and then they review the footage. And they'll tell you, hey, hey, this is what we did to correct that. Sometimes it includes that officer being, suspended or some extra training or, stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I definitely knew that.
Real quick, Chris, without giving too much away, like without any personal information or anything like that, can you give an example, like a practical example for it? Because I feel like in situations like that, the first thing I think of is, okay, you can complain, like in school, for example, you can complain to the teacher, but if they're like when I was a substitute teacher, full disclosure, they used to tell us it has to reach a certain level of offense before we can send them to the office, before we can suspend them. And I feel like when it comes to policing, it's the same thing. It's like you can complain, but when does it get to a level where there is that suspension? There is that true discipline. So there's that transparency to where the people can be like, okay, if I complain, my complaint is actually going to go further. Can you give an example, like without giving too much information away, of when that's actually happened so the people can understand that when you complain, it does actually go forward?
Yeah. Okay, so for my department, I'm not going to say where I work at, but basically for my department, the process is you come in, you talk to the supervisor, then you pretty much fill out the formal complaint paperwork, which then gets sent to the commander of the patrol division. They look at it, they pull, footage, in-car footage, body cam footage, and all that. And then they look at it, okay, well, what's the perception of the citizen? They'll take a step back from law enforcement. And a specific example was, when I first got on the road myself, I ended up pulling over, a classmate. And, I ultimately let her go, gave her a warning, and I got a complaint filed against me. Well, although I knew that the complaint was not, in excess as it perceived to be, but my commander was like, hey, you have to take a step back and just look at it from, what the public might look at it as. So that's how I got days off. It's pretty much, it just didn't look right for the public. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the complaints, they do, a lot of people think, okay, I'm just writing it down and give it to that person. They're just going to, throw it in the trash.
But it is taken into consideration.
It is definitely taken into consideration.
I started to do that, but I didn't.
Yeah, I mean,
she in training, bro.
She in training. Don't mess it up, man.
You get what I mean? Exactly. I knew
but
that.
But I mean, hey, I'm not gonna make no excuse. If you felt like you was treated wrong, then it's just like you go to Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Complain to the manager, whatever.
But I'm just speaking from the perspective of me as a military man. I knew she was in training. And I know what that looks like, and I know what that is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that I want to talk about that I was always curious about with police because we black, right?
Yeah.
Black as hell.
Just making sure. Something I want to ask is, because I know you, by us being black, it's a good chance we got some criminals that we know.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How do you feel? Like, did you start getting treated different? I know Demo probably treated you differently for sure, but did you start getting treated?
Let's tell the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth before he finished this question.
Did you start getting treated differently by friends? I've seen it because I'm gonna give you a little quick one, real quick. It's a guy Roscoe, right? That became a police officer. Where we from? His stepson, his whole what was it stepson or mentee or something like that?
I'm out.
His stepson, I think it was a mentee, told him just essentially like, I don't want to deal with you no more. Like, fuck you.
Damn.
After that,
Yeah.
like after he became a police officer.
Yeah.
So, did you run into any of that?
Man, I would say not to toot my own horn, but when I was in high school, I was a very popular guy. You know, went to college. I mean, Demarco was too. We was kind of the guy that everybody looked up to.
I like how you threw me in there. I appreciate that. Humble brag.
But anyways, we was very, very, very popular guys in high school. All right, so when I became a police officer, I started to see I did have friends that kind of distanced themselves away from me. But, I look at it now like, well, then they not really my friends because, no matter what job I choose or whatever,
Right.
If you're friends, you're gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, my circle definitely got smaller, which, I mean, hey, fuck it.
And it mess with you mentally.
That's what I was going to say. Was it really fuck it, or did you feel like, damn, Because I would have felt the way. I feel a way about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Because if you put your time in with people you truly, genuinely love a person, and then just for them to say, like, forget, like, fuck you, essentially.
I didn't think too much of it.
Gotcha.
Like, fuck it. Like,
Drive on.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, I had my circle, you know what I'm saying? Demarco, Eric, and a couple others, like, that was it. We just rocked it. Yeah, I'm not going to waste my time trying to worry about why such and such don't fuck with me anymore. You know what I'm saying? Why I don't want to come around.
They ain't gonna put no money in your pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm out here doing what I do.
Nah, I get it though. I just always wanted that because that situation. I mean, it was his little mentee or whatever you want to call it, stepson, whatever it was. He just said, like you're a police officer now. Pretty much is like fuck you.
Man, I had my uncle. He was a big drug dealer in Texas. He did some time in federal prison. Man, when I told him that I wanted to be a police officer, at first he was like, hell nah. But, you know what I'm saying, he seen how, serious I was about it. And then, I mean, he was like, man, look, I understand this is something that you want to do. Go for it. You know what I'm saying? Just go out there and do something to make the family name proud. You feel me? So
I wanted to ask you, is the stress worth the reward?
sometimes.
I'm gonna tell you, listen, and I don't know if I could. I don't know if I should be saying this, and if I'm not, I can edit it out. But I seen some stuff one time with you that was shown to me where it was a situation where I was like, yeah, he lucky that was Chris and it wasn't me. You remember Demo?
Yeah, I think he talking about the dude that was like,
white guy?
the white dude was like, you must
He was
got bullied
showing-
in high school.
yeah.
I would have beat him the fuck up. I'm gonna be honest. I would have hit him with the little taser. I would have handcuffed him, in the back seat. One of them. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not taking that shit. And you did well though. You was listen. We need more like you.
That was rough, man. That was rough. I was actually fresh out the academy when that happened. So
Training.
yeah.
So
I mean,
should have went in on her ass. That's why I should have. But I'm gonna get off that story.
yeah.
I'm gonna get off this. My bad. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? It goes back to the training, and I'm just telling you that it wasn't brainwashing, because I could have took it, further. A lot of my coworkers was like, look, man, if it was me, I would have down there pulled them out the window. You know what I'm saying? But you got to realize every time you come in contact with somebody, you don't know what they're going through or, how they was taught and stuff like this. So you got to take that into consideration.
100%. I always refer back to this book that I read, Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. And what it does is it actually starts out with the story of what's the one girl she was an SG Rose. She ended up moving. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name for the life of me. She got pulled. She ended up going to prison. They said going to jail. They said she committed suicide.
Sandra Bland.
Sandra Bland.
So that's how the book started out. And in the book, what Malcolm Gladwell essentially he explains is that you have to look at things from every different side of the story. Again, and that's why I'm able to keep my composure in these certain situations, because the reality is with a white guy, right? If I see a white cop that pulled me over and he automatically with the shit, because we got them. I mean, let's just be honest. He automatically with the shit. Like I don't get so upset with the knowledge that I got from that book and understanding that the reality is this man probably had seeds of racism planted in his mind since he was a child. That could be a reality for him. And then he get into the academy and get around, black officers, and that's his first experience. He could have grew up in an all-white school. He could have so many things, you're right, that his only perception of black people could have been through the media.
Or could have been getting bullied
by black people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right,
it could have been so many things or whatever. So if you could just take, like you just said, that you hit the nail on the head with this. I mean, if you just take the time out to understand that maybe this motherfucker just had a bad day, or maybe something went wrong, or maybe he just had a high stress life. I don't know. Whatever. If you take that into consideration, a lot of the times it could, it will de-escalate a lot of situations.
Right. I had a roommate at the academy. He was from East Tennessee. Mm-hmm. I guess he never seen a black person or whatever.
Yeah.
And so after the shower one day, I'm in the room changing shirts, and he was like, he seen my tattoo. He was like, man, I thought black people got white tattoos so you can see it better. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God!
And my white coworker was my roommate.
Yeah.
He was like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And I just walked out of the room because I was like, "What the fuck?" But
What
then
was
I
that?
realized that where he's from, he don't see black people,
Yeah.
especially with their shirt off. You know what I mean? So I had to explain to him like, "No, man, like." No, I just get black ink just like you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a dude.
He would have had me fucked up.
It was a dude from Colorado that I went to basic AIT with. He had never been. I'm gonna tell y'all gonna understand what I'm saying when I'm saying this. He had never been around black people because he was from some part of Colorado where no black people was at, and his ass went from that environment straight to Fort Benning, Georgia. You know it ain't nothing but niggas out there. Like, it's like, man, I had black people working in the kitchen. Like, he just had never seen black people, and that was like, so I always thought that was funny. Like, it's like a white person coming from the suburbs, never been around white people or anything, to go straight to like the hood or something, to like the inner city of Chicago. That was like a slap in the face for him. I just thought of that when you said that about dude. But yeah, fuck him though. We don't
shout out to
we don't get no fucking white ink. Come on, bro.
White tattoo.
We got the internet now,
He's
bro.
trying to get a little jokey joke.
Yeah, he was trying to get a joke. I thought you was about to make a dick joke because they love
They
that
love
shit.
that shit.
Oh my God, they love that shit.
No,
We talked about that shit on one of the first podcasts where Chris, we done been in the units, being at Camp Shelby, or wherever, and you walk in the shower, motherfuckers joking like, "Don't hit me over the head with that hammer and shit."
Yeah, bro. Like, come on, brother.
boy, no homo though, no homo.
Listen, I done got plenty of them from their ass. Like, come on, just chill the fuck out. You're making me mad uncomfortable right now, bro.
I will say that the police officers here in Rutherford County that I work alongside, like, I really haven't experienced or seen anyone just get out of pocket, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially, mainly, I see a lot of white officers that are more nicer to black people than black officers, and that's because they're scared of getting labeled as a racist police officer. Yeah. So
here's the thing about that, and that segues into two of my questions, but you just gave me a thought though. I think, and me and Tanisha talk about this all the time, and it's that fear. And we talk about UT, and Roscoe, we talk about that all the time, a lot of things being fear-based. Mm-hmm. But if your actions as a police officer, and I'm just speaking in general, are strictly out of fear, and I get that we've had this conversation over and over again, Chris, so I don't mean to beat a dead horse. But if your actions are strictly fear-based, Not I need to get home every night, but I'm scared, and I'm speaking to white people right now. If your actions are, I will act nice to a white person or a black person because I don't want to be labeled a racist. Is that genuine? To quote Roscoe, like, is that even genuine?
Well, in this day and time, I will say, yes, that's a big thing. Like, they don't want to be, because the media was, pretty much hang them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, just don't be racist then. Just be a good person, right?
No,
be a good
but that's what
person.
I'm saying.
It goes a little step
That's
further.
what I'm saying. The media, they always paint the picture whenever there's a white police officer and a black citizen, then all the stories is going to run like the white police officer is doing something wrong, doing something out of the scope of their job because they're dealing with, stuff a certain way. It's not about fear, but like the conversations we had in previous times was, you can't, his fear might be different than my fear, but
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to the media, I mean, look at the Nashville shooting that just happened a couple weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? That guy, that police officer, he did a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have done. Like, he was being super nice, and I don't know if it's because they got the community oversight board or they have the new body cams, and people are looking at them, to do wrong. So yeah, he was extremely nice. I would have, been had to be a little bit more stern. You feel me?
Yeah.
With me, I really don't give a damn about like what they got going on outside of their job. They could be racist. I don't give a damn. Just give me my respect when you pull me over, and I'm gonna give you your respect. You know what I'm saying? So we both can go home at the end of the day.
But I will say, man, it is some people out there that, they see a police officer, then they automatically, they
Irrational.
they don't give us the respect.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's kind
That's
of,
true.
two-way street. You
That's
want
true.
respect, you got to give
That's
respect.
true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
I've never seen, officers just go right into it, being
Right.
disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? If they do, then, like I said earlier, you go back into that formal complaint process and do it that way, you know what I'm saying? But I've never just seen that just out the blue, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I can't wait to go back to Rutherford County. I never had like a bad experience.
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
They always fuck with me in Rutherford County too.
All right, but Rutherford County, I will say, Rutherford County do not play. Keep
They
out.
over police too. There's a
Nah,
lot of
I ain't gonna
police in
say.
there.
Nah, we don't over police.
No, I'm saying that you are over police. Like it's a lot of
Okay.
police
Yeah,
officers.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean.
Like, my only thing is, like, look at Davidson County, for instance. They have a lot of stuff in place. I mean, it could be a good thing for criminal justice reform, such as the pretrial release program that they got. But in Rutherford County, like, you know what I'm saying, we don't have pretrial release like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's because if you do that, like, let's say in Nashville, if you go out and, I don't know, shoot somebody, you know what I mean? You might be eligible for pretrial release, which basically means, okay, they bring you down to booking, take your photo, fingerprints, and they just let you go without a bond, without anything. They just give you a court
know
date
that.
and tell you to come back. Well, some of those same criminals will come to Rutherford County not knowing that we don't have that same process, and Rutherford County throw your ass under the jail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So keep
didn't
all
know
the
that.
bullshit in Davidson County.
No, I didn't know that.
Here's the second part of my question, and it had to do with something you said a while back, like not on the podcast, but just when you first became a police officer, is basically, you wanted to make a difference. Obviously, I feel like you've done that over the past 3-4 years, but it was about community because obviously where we come from, we're not from the hood or anything like that, but our neighborhood and where we grew up gets a bad rap about being the hood, obviously from white people that are not black, but, being the hood, being a bad area. So obviously you went into law enforcement because you wanted to change perceptions of not only where you come from, but also who you are and who you hang around at. Hey, I'm wearing this uniform. That's not me. What I wanted to ask you, though, is that since you don't work in that neighborhood or that community, Rutherford County is like majority white, which most places are majority white, but you don't work in the same neighborhoods or you don't work in the same community that you grew up in. So are you accomplishing the goals that you set out?
Well, I would say is not majority white, but we do have a large population of minority, which is, Hispanics, blacks, Asians, Laotians, different people. I like the diversity communities that we have. But to answer your question, I mean, the only thing that I can do, and the reason why I got into this is to bridge the gap. You know what I'm saying? Bridge the gap between the relationship of police officers and the community. Whether I grew up in Antioch, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's in Antioch, Smyrna, Murfreesboro, anywhere, people start taking note of, okay, because you come through, I mean, most of the time it be people from Nashville, uh, Wilson County, they coming through, you know what I'm saying? They see a police officer, which could have been me, you know what I'm saying? They see me going a step, beyond trying to build bridge that gap. Then you feel me? They like, okay, cool. So I mean, I still feel like I'm still accomplishing my goal, even though I'm not in Antioch anymore. I stay in Rutherford County now, but you know what I'm saying? Even though I try to do stuff in Davidson County, which is, community service stuff, I try to help out some of my counterparts from Metro PD or stuff like that, just to get out there. It don't matter, where you work at, but as long as you, trying to change that image.
Yeah, I mean, as a black man, it don't matter where you work at.
Right.
But the one thing that me and Demo talk about a lot is just we wish that some of these officers that police these areas, a lot of these acts of violence that happen with us could be lowered if we were in a situation where somebody that grew up with us or knew us could or was a part of that community could communicate, because we all know that's what it is. A lot of the time it's just a disconnect with communication. You see these videos and that's all it is. Just if communication had been different, things would have ended completely different. Nobody would have lost their lives, none of that. You know what I mean? So
right.
I get what you were correct in saying what you said, but I just wish that a lot of these people were, in our own communities.
It's just different when you get pulled over by a black officer too. Like, even if the black officer being an asshole,
It's a sigh of relief.
It's a relief. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not scared. Like, he gonna shoot me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or anything like that. I'm not like, because this
He
the
might,
first thing happened. When I get pulled over by a white cop, my hands start sweating, my heartbeat go up. Like I'm really scared. You know, and we've been conditioned by the videos and stuff to think that way too. But when a black officer pulled me over, I be relaxed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not scared at all.
Well, that's the thing, man. You gotta look beyond the uniform, whether it's a white guy, Hispanic, Asian, black person. Just look at them as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, when I get pulled over now, I still get nervous. Everybody gets nervous, when they see the blue lights behind them. But I mean, a lot of people don't understand, like, the perception what the police officer has to, go through. Traffic stops and domestics are one of the most dangerous thing that a police officer can get into. Mm-hmm. So they're walking up to a car vulnerable because, you know what I'm saying, you're able to look at them. They can't see you, when they're walking up, you know what I'm saying? And then, people reaching them. They don't know what you got. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that concept. You know what I'm saying? If I tell you to get your hands out your pocket, then you need to get your hands out out your pocket.
Reason.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of people don't think outside of the box. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, just any police officer, man. I try to tell everybody all the time, to any police officer, hey, just relax, stay calm. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be smooth. They might have an attitude, and that's why you go back to the formal complaint process if you feel like they was extremely mean or something.
If there was something that you could do to like change it, like, or just like, what I get you saying, you got into it. Like, what is the end goal? Is it you trying to get a higher position to where you can change things? You want to be in office politically, or what it is?
Man, it don't matter what position you in within the department. You know what I'm saying? I can be chief, I can be a detective, I can be an assistant chief. It it's the uniform. You know what I'm saying? That's what people see. They don't really care about the ranks that you have on. Right. But I will say, I mean, for me, I kind of want to just continue to bridge that gap and try to get people to see. I encourage a lot of people to come in and do, ride-alongs to see, what we see, and maybe they'll understand why we do the things that we do. Murfreesboro PD, they got a unique training simulator where they can put you on the simulator, like on a traffic stop, and they can set it up to where, okay, this driver is not being compliant, or the driver jumps out of the car, then, they're shooting at you, like stuff like that. Mm-hmm. They can create any scenario to try to get you to see the different perspective of a police officer. So that's why I just tell people, hey, man, it don't cost anything. You know what I'm saying? Just go to your local police department and just say, hey, I want to do a ride along. You don't have to, do it because you're thinking about being a police officer. Just do it just to, just to get your understanding, be able to see outside of the box or on the other side of, the road.
So is it a lot is it a lot tenser now with all the climate? I mean, just you as an officer, not necessarily how y'all deal with the community, but is it a lot when you walk in and these situations don't happen? Do you feel like is it tense? Is the attitude different? How do you feel? For example, if a black person gets shot or something like that, and you go into, going to work that morning, is it different? Is the feeling different or?
No, it's not really different. I mean, that's a part of the job, right. But I mean, we take most officers take every shooting as a learning lesson. So right. They'll go and say, okay, well, I would say critique, but it's not really critiquing. But you kind of see, okay, what could this officer have done differently? You know what I mean? Sure. So. Yeah, it is what it is. It's not really one of those things that, okay. What we do notice, though, when a person gets shot or a black person gets shot or whoever, and, we go into work and do our job, you pull over a black person or you encounter a black person, same race or whatever as the person that just got shot. You know what I'm saying? You'll see them like be more tense. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right. They'll be like, you know what I'm saying? You pull them over and then they already got their hands up. Annoying? You know what I mean? Yes. Yes, that is definitely annoying because extra. That's just lets me know that, you know what I'm saying, you just trying to, be an asshole. You don't really see, you know what I'm saying? You
Maybe
don't
they're really scared though. Maybe, I mean, I get it. I get it. Like you come to the car, it's I'm not doing anything. Don't shoot me. I see people do shit like that, but maybe they genuinely scared though. I mean, I can see from the officer perspective how I could be like, man, look at this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, but maybe they really scared though.
They could be scared. They could be scared, but man, just don't do that. You feel me? Just don't do that, because this is just letting me know that you're going to be an ass. Yeah. And then now I got to, because you already got that preconceived notion of me as if I'm going to shoot you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. Just relax. You
know what I think, and I don't know how they would feel about stuff like this. If I was in the position of power, whoever makes the decisions, I would encourage like a lot of officers to get involved with the community. You said something earlier about they can go on like ride-alongs and things like that, but I would encourage the officers as well to go out and just come to some of these gyms with these young black kids playing ball, develop those relationships and stuff like that with them. Start little AAU basketball teams and stuff like that, or football teams, or just go into the schools and have a talk with them. I don't know how it is now because I'm not in grade school or anything anymore, but I do know that when we were younger, it was the DARE program. You'd be able to play, well, not play with the dog, but they would let you get on helicopters and stuff like that and show you some of the cool police stuff. No lie, before I had it put in my head, like, nah, don't deal with the police officers, I thought, like, damn, that's cool. Like, I might want to be a police officer one day. That's the first time I done told anybody that.
I ain't never heard that.
Hey. I was young, though,
Hey, come on, we always hire, man.
Hey, listen, brother, y'all don't want me. I'm going to tell you now.
Oh,
y'all don't want me there.
But, Hey man, just give it a shot. But I would say a lot of people now, there's some officers, a lot of officers actually out there, but they're not, promoting that they're a police officer because of the day and time that we live in. Yeah. But I will say Governor Lee has included that all officers in the state of Tennessee must do X amount of hours of community service as an in-service. So, I mean, Tennessee is moving in the right direction to, include the community, for us to give back. But a lot of people, a lot of sports teams I know, AU teams that you told me, some of those coaches are police officers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just like, I'm not going to go somewhere and just say, not a cop. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because, then they going to, whenever, people see you vulnerable, and they're going to do whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? So
I think y'all should take some of the same tactics as the military, though. Be proud of that and wear that, because if you can see, like, oh, no, he's just a human. This my coach. This coach X, Y, and Z who came coach me. He took care of me. He gave me a ride home. He bought us pizza. He, he's not this person that rap songs say he is, or my uncle who went to prison for X amount of years say he is. This my partner right here. I think, you should advertise. Is there something against the reason why y'all not able to do that?
Well, it's not that we're not able to. It's just when we do that, it puts a target on us because of the
security.
Because of the time that we live in. A lot of people just do not like the police. You know what I'm saying?
White and black.
Yeah, well, I was just going to say white and
so,
black. Nobody like the police.
It's just like when I'm off, I'm not going to wear a police shirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I don't want people to know that I'm a police officer outside of work.
Y'all got a tough job, bro.
Yeah.
That's what.
Go ahead, you can go.
No, go ahead.
We're gonna go back to the question I asked earlier. Like, is the stress worth the reward?
Sometimes. But I mean, a lot of stress that most police officers deal with is some of the calls that we respond to. Like, this call might be a dead person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then you'll go to you'll go to somebody that lost their dog or somebody. You got to still keep that level of professionalism. You know what I'm saying? I've gone to several deaths in the same day. I've gone to calls like a wreck, or I've gone to, lost dog, somebody stole my money. You know what I'm saying? But I still got to be the same officer mentally. You know what I'm saying? Then a lot of people, that's why I said a lot of people don't think that we're humans behind the uniform. We got to keep that. We got to keep that up until we go home. You know what I'm saying? And then we got to try not to let that emotion spill over onto our family. You know what I mean?
What'd you do to keep that stress level down? Because I work in the mental health field, and the suicide rate of cops and stuff is high.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do you do to keep that stress level down?
What I do is, like, when I first became a police officer, I always just kept in my mind, hey, once I get home and take the uniform off, then I'm good. I only think about work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it is some officers relate to drinking. Some, people do it, a lot of different stuff. But in policing, a lot of officers are, it's a high rate of divorce.
Yeah, for sure.
Like you said, suicide because of the stress of the job, So, we're humans outside the uniform, but while we're at work, we still got to take care of your problems and maintain our problems at home that you don't even know about.
Right.
Let them in, and I ain't gonna tell your business for you, but shit, I ain't quite like T when it come to that. But no, just talk a little bit about your own personal battles, about some of the shit that you've gone through, mentally, physically, because you work
has to be tough.
Yeah, because you work the second shift, so eating late, different things like that. Talk about some of your battles and shit when you get home from the job.
Yeah, so I work second shift, 2 to 10, which it's an odd time, but I'm away from my family, friends and stuff, because when I get off, they're pretty much getting ready to go to bed or whatever. I have suffered from a little bit of depression and anxiety, but also we talked about earlier about my friend group getting smaller, You know what I'm saying? I felt like, I was being isolated because, I wasn't I'm a police officer, so, people don't want to deal with the police officer or whatever. So, I mean, it is stressful. Like, the coronavirus right now, I lost my aunt and my granny within a couple of months of each other. But I still had to go to work with that on my mind. And then keep a smile on my face and be able to take care of the citizens' issues. That was rough, but you got to do it and get through it.
It's not an easy job, man. I don't envy you. I'll be honest. I don't. It's not an easy job. I completely understand that. That's why I said this won't be a bashing thing, because I really want to step into the mind of an officer, but more specifically a black officer. Because listen, this is the thing, and I know I see you right now. You keeping this like neutral thing. You out. That's a part. You out. You want to be neutral. You want to. But no, brother. You're black, and you're a black officer.
Right.
And not only are you dealing with all the BS that comes with being an officer, you dealing with the BS that comes with being black as well.
Right.
Regardless, and that's why I wanted you here, specifically black officers, because we could have got white ones, but I want black officers here because I'm like I said, I don't envy them. It's tough. You dealing with all the stuff that we have to deal with, but you also dealing with being a police officer at the same time.
Right, but I also, on contrary, I kind of want people to, police officer. Don't see it as a black police officer, or white, or Hispanic police officer. We're all doing the job, which is to keep you, us, and the community safe. So, yeah, I'm a black police officer, but I do have some, white coworkers who, they're just as good, just as, friendly as me.
I'm not
saying
that.
Yeah,
for sure. 100%.
Right.
100%. I get it.
We not attacking the white officers.
Listen, I could give,
Hey,
I could give a damn about the white officers.
Hey,
I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, I'm all right. I'm sorry. I put it like this: you are an officer, but you're also a black man.
Right.
All right, and because you're a black man, you have to deal with the stuff that goes on with a black man. And outside of the badge, outside of the uniform, all that, you have to deal with the BS that goes on as a black, that comes with us, the stress and all that, just from being a black man. Because we all know stress from being a black man, sometimes it don't even tie into stuff going on with police officers.
Right.
It's just the battles, of being a black man. So you have to deal with that, but then you have to go and be an officer as well.
Right.
And not to say that the white man that's going home doesn't have to deal with stress as well, but I'm saying, like, brother, like slavery. Like, listen. Understand what I'm saying when I say this. It wasn't that long ago. It's like 3 grandmas ago. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like 4 grandmas ago. That it was like you having to deal with that on your mind. The fact that it's hard for us as a people to not know our lineage and things like that. You have to deal with, in a lot of cases with us, black men not dealing with their kids, us not having fathers. It's probably out of us in here, maybe one of us, at least 2 of us in here, 50% of us didn't grow up with our father, right? So it's like you have to deal with all those stresses and everything in life already, and then being an officer. I sympathize with y'all, and I try to make sure that I tell people like Lala and all of them that, hey, brother, like, I'm with you.
All right,
Listen, I love you. And I want to say this too, Demo. I don't know if you tell this brother enough.
He
but
be
you
hating.
need to tell him
He
that
be
you
hating.
love him, bro.
He
You
be
need to
hating.
tell this man that
I
you
definitely. I just told the man the other day I love him. We was
him
on
that you
3-way with another one of our homeboys. I had to, he didn't want to say it, and it's
Yeah,
cool.
he ain't wanna say it back.
He was like, I love you. Love you too. Love you too.
We gotta normalize that, bro.
Oh,
because
But he said it,
Yeah,
Actually, when he called me about my grandmother
Yeah.
on Tuesday, and I told him I loved him, he said it barely, but he said it. He said it.
we gotta
He be
normalize
hating,
that, bro. We gotta normalize that for real, because the reality is, bro, like, I get it, but no matter how we paint this shit, you as a black person, a black man who just so happens to be an officer as well, your job is a lot harder than that white officer. You don't have to say it. You don't have to. You don't have to agree with me. I'm going to say it.
We know.
Your job is a lot harder, because it's harder being a black man anyway, but then also you're an officer as well. And that's why I wanted to start this off by giving you your flowers, because you deserve it, bro. You deserve it, because you ain't killed nobody yet. You ain't killed yourself.
Man said
You
yeah.
ain't, like, listen, brother.
Throwing
you
shade on Slick.
You never know. You never know. But you hadn't done anything out of the way, and I see these videos of you being well composed, even with you coming fresh out of training. Granted, you already had prior military experience and everything as well, but I see you so poised. I see you just being, cool.
Level-headed.
A white man at that school.
Yeah.
He was a white guy. Hey, listen, I would have fucked him up. He lucky. That's why y'all don't want me. Not because I'm doing nothing illegal. I'm straight and narrow. If I'm a police, I'm fucking him up. I'm beating him. That's why y'all don't want me. It'll be messed up out here. But that's why we got good brothers like you who get the badge and y'all decide to do great.
And we can train young bucks like you.
Listen, brother, it ain't no training on the earth that's gonna make me not beat that man.
Oh man,
I'm gonna be honest with you. It ain't no training on the earth.
Gotcha.
Not like that.
You whooping ass.
I'm whooping his ass. I'm tasing him. He might get a little leg warmer, a little leg shot. I ain't joking. Shit.
Your ass crazy.
I ain't joking.
crazy as hell.
Listen, that's why y'all want me. I'm mentally unstable.
Hey, stay with the specimen deliveries.
Yeah, I ain't even in the military no more, so they can't get me either for saying that what I just said.
Last thing I want to hit on, Chris, because I know you got to get back to you and your lady got birthday plans and all that type of stuff.
Birthday to her too.
Hey, happy birthday, Caitlin. Happy birthday. Is the discretion aspect of policing. And we talk about this too. It's just kind of like, you talked about it with the classmate. It's just kind of like, you have that discretion to be like, hey, I'm going to give you warning based on the attitude that somebody gives you. They give you an attitude, you could, very well take it to the umpteenth level if you wanted to and hit their ass hard. I could think of a Facebook video I was watching where a guy had his car parked in the middle of the street. Y'all might have seen this Facebook video. This black guy, he had his car parked in the middle of the street. He said he was running in to get something. The officer came out. I'm not even sure what state it was, but he was like, hey, you can't park your car there. The guy gave him a little bit of attitude, in the current climate we in. The officer was like, oh, you giving me attitude? All right, bet. Well, sudden code this, say you can't do this. He was like, I'll be right back. And he gave him a ticket. He was like, I'm not taking that. He said, oh, you refusing the ticket? All right, bet. I'll be right back. He said, sudden code is this, and that. But the point I'm trying to get to is that it seems like there, in some cases that have benefited, I'm sure that have benefited all of us, but we probably was doing some shit we ain't had no business doing, and the officer recognized that, and he was like, get out of here, don't do that shit. But there were also instances where we didn't get the benefit of the doubt because we might have been having a bad day. So the discretion aspect, in some ways, it bothers me because I'm like, it's almost like y'all have the power, the ultimate power at the end of the day.
I mean, yeah, we do have discretion. It's really not an answer to that. You feel me? Yeah. Because, I mean, it don't have to be, hey, you've been an asshole to me, so let me retaliate and give you a ticket. But, I mean, there's some aspects of the job that we have discretion. There's some that don't. A lot of people think that we have discretion in a lot of different stuff, like everything, such as, like, domestics, a pound of weed, you know what I'm saying?
Gotta go to jail.
You feel me? Like, the law states,
unless you me. Then you might get off and I'm gonna take the weed.
Oh man, the law. Yeah, hey man, don't apply. The law states in a domestic that we shall make an arrest. If we can determine the primary aggressor.
Right.
A lot of people be like, man, you could just let me go. I ain't doing that, but just pushed her or pushed him. You could let me go. You know what I mean? But that's a liability on me. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Because it could be a death that follows up after
exactly.
that.
That's why the law said, hey, you shall do X, Y, and Z. Right. You know what I'm saying? Some stuff we have a little, wiggle room, such as, speeding, running a stop sign. But, I mean, hey, there's a consequence for every action. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you got to just be, if you do something, just be ready to get that consequence, but just also keep in your mind that, hey, he might let me go. He might, cut me a break. You feel me? Yeah. So,
listen, brother, man, we appreciate you for coming out, man.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all for having me. It's an honor to come sit down with a few different black people to look at, my perspective in the community and being a police officer and being a black man. So thanks for having me. I hope we can do this again.
For sure. We want something we don't want a white cop to come.
Oh, hey, I got plenty great white police officers to come and rock the show.
All right, listen. It's a date then. I tell you what, I want them to come on too because I'm all about seeing other people's perspective. I've had the liberty or the chance to get out and experience a lot of other people through the military. That's probably one of the better decisions I've made. And a lot of them was white police officers. You know how the military is. But so listen, I would welcome them to come on if they want to just come on and talk. Man.
Yeah, just hey, you got to give everybody a chance. You know
that's what we need more of, right?
Right. You know, that's the thing though. When it comes to policing, a lot of people already have this preconceived notion. So the white officer that a lot of people talk about, you know what I'm saying, they don't take the time to go and see where they're coming from. And, you know, there's a reason why you believe that, and they're trying to, you know, counteract that. So, you know, just take the time to go talk to a white officer. I'm pretty sure they'll be gladly to talk to you and let you know what's what, you know.
Sure.
All right.
Listen, man, this is the ChoppedByT podcast where we give you real, raw, authentic conversations. Thank you.